Thanks for joining me today, and we are going to talk about multi-channel audio. And our question comes from Hans in Veldoven, the Netherlands. And Hans writes, Paul, why doesn't PS Audio dive into multi-channel? The original recordings are made by recording many tracks, 1632, which are reduced to, for instance, 5.1 or 2.0. Thus, what is on the 2.0 track is synthesized as 2 instead of the original anyway. Apart from that, there are magnificent audiophile recordings in 5.1 surround sound, such as from 2L. And I will agree with you, Hans. 2L has some terrific recordings. I bought a SACD from them that has this. I can't remember which one it is now, but it was such a magnificent piece, recorded in a massive church, and there's great video showing it and surround sound. It's terrific. I love it, and I have a home theater that I play these on, and I think that's the appropriate place for it. But I want to disagree with you for just a second. In here, you mention that the original recordings are made with multi-track, and many of them are 1632 track machines. Most of those that are destined for music are mastered down to 2-track stereo. That's how the vast majority of tracks are done, and that has nothing to do with multi-channel. That's strictly stereo. Okay, so regardless of the number of tracks, it all comes down to stereo. And that's a pretty standard process today. So let's take that out of the equation. That said, there are many fine multi-channel recordings. Some of the best out there are live performances that were done with multiple mics and then done with a 5.1 surround system. We at one point entered into multi-channel. One of our GC series was a gorgeous 5-channel amplifier, and we sold a number of them. People still have them today running their home theater systems or their multi-channel audio systems. But I would say there are a couple of reasons why we don't do that, and one of them is a matter of focus. So as a company, we don't want to be all things to all people. No interest in doing that. I think the most successful companies out there are ones who don't necessarily put the blinders on. And I'm not suggesting that we do that, because we certainly don't. Where our eyes are looking around like, how can we make great 2-channel audio, right? But we want to be the very best at one thing, and that is bringing 2-channel audio into the home. That's what we want to do. There are other companies that are doing great work with home theater, with multi-channel sound, with multi-channel audio. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like multi-channel audio. I've always wanted to take Music Room 1 and add some rear channels and some side channels and be able to play some of the SACDs that I have that have multi-channel surround sound. I would very much like to do that, but that's not what we do as a company. I'll give you another example. My good friend Peter Moncrief, who runs a magazine called International Audio Review. I'm not sure if Peter's still publishing that. He made Wonder Caps and Wonder Solder, and he is one of the finest setup people in the world. He's a great audiophile, brilliant guy. And Peter at one point told me that what he had done was set up a multi-channel system in his home that played stereo. Okay, so stereo channels with 5, I don't know what his setup was. Let's imagine it's 5 speakers, center, left, right, sides, and the rears, okay? And I don't really know. He may not have had, knowing Peter, he probably didn't have a center channel, but I don't know. And what Peter did to make it sound spacious and live was to slightly delay each of the channels in just the right way behind him and to the sides to simulate a live experience with 2-channel. Now, I never got to hear that, but I know Peter, and I know Peter's ears are some of the very best. And if Peter told me it is extraordinary, I believe Peter, absolutely. And I think that may be something that would be fascinating for us to do. But again, it's to enhance two-channel sound. That's what we at PS Audio are all about, what we want to become the best at and have been doing for the last 40 years. So in answer to your question, that is why we stick with two-channel audio, because we believe in it. It's what we spend our days listening to, and I still believe that the closest we can get to live, unless we're Peter Moncrief, with this great system that only one person on the planet knows how to set up, is with just great two-channel audio. Thank you for the question. Bye. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.